Okay, welcome back to Mornings Marketing Mondays, and today we're going to be talking about selecting your Kindle categories and how to have a little bit more control over them. If you've ever submitted a book to Amazon, you probably noticed that they let you pick a couple categories, but they're really kind of vague-ish. It's like they only give you maybe 40 or 50% of the categories that are available on the list there, and so it's not letting you get real specific a lot of times. And then sometimes they'll end up randomly putting your book in some weird category that doesn't relate to what you want. So there is a way to get them to put it in the categories you want. So first I'm going to go through how to pick the categories. I am going to use a tool that Donna turned me on to, what was a couple weeks ago. So I'm going to show you that and to pick it, but you can pick the categories maybe not as scientifically, but at least get an idea. I can show you the manual way to do it too, so that if you don't want to do the software, you can do that. So I'm going to go to the screen share here. All right, so I've been doing a little research for one of my clients' books. It's the mental codes. Okay, so I figured I'd use this as an example, and this one might help Donna a little bit because it's kind of in the same kind of book as hers, and maybe some of the others.
Are you sharing your screen?
Is it not sharing?
No.
I see it.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great.
Okay. The mental codes. Very cool.
Huh. I don't see it. That's weird.
What do you see?
I see you and I see Marnie, but I don't see the shared screen.
Does anybody else see the share screen?
Yes, I do.
What about you, Carolyn? You do? Did you say yes?
Oh, there it is. It's hiding. Sorry.
Okay. You're the one who watched the tutorial on how to use Zoom.
I know it. I know.
Okay. So anyway, I was trying to come up, what I did first is I came up with what is his categories now. I went there and kind of jotted those down so I know what we're working with. Now, why they've got him under personality, I'm not really sure. It has really, the book has nothing to do with personality. It is a self-help book. Mm-hmm. So I just thought, okay, what are some keywords? Maybe being thoughts. He talks about being stuck, the brain, law of attraction, mind, things like that. Okay, so now if you wanted to do books about the mind or something, maybe you could do this kind of manually, I guess, and see what you come up with. You become what you think about. So you could go like this and click and go down and find the category that these are showing up in. So I've noticed this men's personal growth a few times. And using the keyword tool, I searched and was able to see that category, he could probably own that category, even though it's not specifically for men, but men would like it. He's a man, he wrote it. And, you know, I mean, he's very matter of fact with the way he talks. He's not woo-woo with the way he explains things. You know what I mean? So it's like, it probably would work well. This new age, new thought, these kind of areas, all of these would equally work for Dr. Duckett's book. So if I was going to manually figure this out, I could click on, say, the men's personal growth, and you see the books that are in that. Now, Alchemist is very popular. It's 11,819 overall in books, I believe that's what that's saying. Let me double check that's what that number means. And that means be reviews. That's probably reviews. Never mind. Wow. Okay. So overall, it's 1131 paid in Kindle store. So that tells you that this book, we were looking at the category of men's personal spiritual growth. To get number one, he'd probably have to sell a lot of books, okay, because he's got to beat The Alchemist, okay? So that's still a pretty competitive category, all right? If we look at the second book in that category and we go down, we've got
Oh, that's a good category.
And it's 1181 overall in Kindle Store. So it too is a book that, now that's not bad right there. This transformational category right here might be a good one for Dr. Duckett's book if I can grab a hold of it. For some reason it wants to go down lower. Come on, I don't want the whole thing. Okay. So I'm gonna jot that one down here as one that might work for him. And what you want is like from that point forward, because what we're going to do is we're going to email Amazon and we're going to say, we'd like to be put in these categories instead. You can go to I'll show you how to get to the form. They have a form where you can put this stuff in and request more categories. Wow. So manually, you'd have to hunt around and try to find categories that hopefully, don't have. We can look at that one and see what happens and just see how competitive it is. I usually look at the #1 book, which is that one, and then you can look at
Brené Brown.
Brené Brown. I mean, that's going to be a hard category to own,
Unless she writes your forward, maybe.
Yeah. So do a combination, because you're going to be able to pick 10 categories with Amazon, not just 2 or 3. Wow. So do a combination of categories that you probably could come up top for and ones that are popular, because it would be good to fit in a popular category too, because people are searching that category and maybe they're, maybe they keep going down it looking at everything's in there or something. So it's not bad to have a mix of the two. Okay. All right, so I'm going to show you this KDP Rocket thing and how you could be a little bit faster looking for these categories. And so what I ended up doing is I just went into the keyword section and put in mind, because it's about the mind. And okay, so if we hit analyze there's a lot of competition in that category. It has a score of 100, so this is a very competitive category. Mindset. And then I noticed this mind to matter thing, okay, which is probably, you'd think mind over matter would be more the phrase somebody would type in. If you analyze that one, it's got a lot of money in that category. So what I did is to check the competition, like what books are in this, what books have this phrase. And there's actually a book called Mind to Matter. So while you can use Mind to Matter, that phrase, as a marketplace keyword, if you were to try to search, or not search, but run an ad, like if you're going to run an Amazon ad, you could put Mind to Matter in. So if people put in that phrase, then you could come up as an ad in there. But you really can't put Mind to Matter as a keyword on your Amazon book, because it's the name of another book. They have like certain rules. You can't like use a name of another book, or you can't use the word Kindle anywhere in your keywords, just, or bestseller, or you can't use phrases that would make, it's got to be something that's more of a normal, just phrase of some kind. But what I did was okay, let's look at this one. It made $22,000 in the last month, and it's kind of competitive to him. So let's check it out. And it shows a little bit of it down here, and you can unleash the categories that it's showing up in. So here's a personal transformation, or books. Because I'm dealing with the Kindle version of this, I need to look at the Kindle store versions. So this was one I grabbed, the New Thought one. I may or may not, I don't know if I grabbed that one or not. I grabbed these neuroscience ones though.
And it goes backwards, the way the categories, it's backwards in that, correct?
I wish they'd go the other way, because when you
Me
go
too.
when you go to ask for that category, you need it in the reverse direction. So these categories here, I grabbed those for him, and I'm just keeping a document here just to show you what I did. And let's see, like right here, those categories. So I grabbed those. Now, one thing that I've noticed just from my experience with, I redid my one of my historical fiction books. And well, actually, I went through and did all my novels again. I gave them all new book covers, and I made each one of them have the chapter of a next logical book that they might like, a chapter of it at the end, and then how to get that one. So I did that. Each one of them leads to another book, and then, of course, has a link to all my books. And then I went through and redid the keywords for these. And so I noticed on a couple of my books, they sent me an email and they said, you've got way too many results coming back for your search phrases. You need to change them. You need to be more specific. And so I did have some keywords in there that were like Kindle, because I pulled it off of this thing, and it would say like historical romance on Kindle or whatever. They won't let you do that. So I had to take that off. And then, best-selling, you can't use that. So I had to take that off. And then when I submitted my categories for one of them, they came back and they said, okay, we've put you in these categories, but these couple categories are not going to be specific, or they're not going to activate until you go back and put like the word psychic in one of, like I have this one where a girl can shake your hand and she feels what you're feeling, and she kind of feels like whether you're the killer or not, kind of thing. It's kind of a mystery with a girl with a little paranormal stuff. So I was trying to fit under a psychic mystery, category. And they said, well, the only way that one will activate it is you go back and put keywords on this title that say psychic somewhere in those keywords. So what I'm doing with him, for example, the neuroscience, neurology, I know good and well they're going to say you got to have that keyword somewhere, probably, because that's just so specific. Mm-hmm. So I'm building a list of keywords down here, and I'm going to use neuropsychology because I've researched it with this tool and found that it has like less competition, slightly more searches, you know what I mean? So I'm just kind of using this tool to narrow down the keywords. So you may have to pull, if you've got some really unusual, see, like I found one of the categories for him was this cognitive neuropsychology stuff. So I thought, okay, I better put that in there. Now we could look and see that phrase. I wonder if we could search, because I didn't even think about looking for that when I was just doing neuropsychology. Not too many searches actually on that phrase, less than 100 a month. But now neuropsychology had a little bit more searches to it.
Marnie, when I went through the class about how to use this,
yeah,
the one thing that they suggest looking for is you also want to look at a competitive score that's lower.
Lower, right. So this one is 53. That's one reason why I chose it. Even though there's not a lot of money.
We can't see those because our photos are over them, the competitive scores.
Move your photo thing around.
Is it grabbing?
You can drag it.
Oh, okay.
It's a box that you can drag.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that one, it does have 2,300 searches. It has a competitive score of 63. So they said don't go higher than 80 on that if you can keep from doing it. And then there's a lot of Google searches, which shows me something good. Not a lot of money in it, but there are books that make money on this subject. Okay, so I don't know how they're deciding that. So, because like, for example, this one book that we found it under is making good money. So maybe they just didn't use that keyword they didn't have to choose that keyword. So that one picked. So that you get a list of these guys going like this just by researching around. And then I'll show you where you asked for it or put it in, load it in. So let me, there it is. Okay. So I pulled up, let me just show you where I was so you know. I logged in kdp.amazon.com. So I'm in Dr. Duckett's account here, and there's the mental codes right there. And I'm going to click on this dot dot thing and go to edit ebook details.
Do we have a different login password to our Kindle Direct as our regular Amazon account?
Mine, it's the same for most people. You can do something different. I'm going to skip over. No, this is what I need to do. Okay, so I did, one thing I did with all the words he had chosen is I went and checked them. And most of them, nobody's searching for these things, okay, for what he had. So I narrowed it down to these words, and some of them are ones he already had, but I'm going to go and change.
I feel like you spelled neuropsychology wrong on there.
You think it's spelled wrong?
It seems like it, but maybe not. It looks weird. N-E-U-R-O-P-O. I guess it's right.
Looks right to me. It's just a weird word.
Yeah, you're right. It's correct.
Okay, personal growth. So before you request the new categories, you want to get something that, you know, that needs to jive with all the categories you're going to select, you know. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about these categories. I don't do it there. And then I just save and continue. And I'm not messing with anything else. I'm just going to keep saving and continue to get through to the end. Hopefully this doesn't bog us down. I really, it's kind of annoying that you have to keep going through and reprocess your Kindle file just to change some categories. It seems like they ought to just have that outside of the process, but they make you go all the way through or you don't. You know, I might be able to get, I wrote down the link for this other, and I can give you the direct link for this. You would need to be logged into your KDP account, and then let me give you this URL. If you're logged into your KDP account, should take you to the contact form. Right, okay. So you would do book details and update categories and keywords. And you're going to need your ASIN number. And you just get that. I'll show you where you get that. Let me see. It's just down here, right there, in the description. That, sorry, ASIN. Okay, so they tell you what you want to do here. Does the book have search keywords? Yes. Does this book have age or grade? No, I don't think so. Okay, so now they want you to put in the ASIN in front of it. And then this Amazon keybook or ebook, and then you put the bracket around that. This is their formatting, okay? So I'm just going to copy that formatting into here and just show you what I do, except for I'm going to have to change the ASIN to his. And then it's got a bracket on the end of that. So I'm just going to put our brackets on the end of all these. All right, so I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 8 new categories that I'm doing for him. So I'm going to copy that and because he's in 3 categories right now, I think, that we show him in up at the top that I copied here. So I'm going to have to tell him which one to get rid of too. Probably this, we'll just get rid of that one. Well, he's actually higher in that one, so maybe I won't. Maybe I'll get rid of that one. And we're going to copy that. Wait a minute. That's book. So we're actually okay, probably, I think, because that's the book version. I don't know, do we want to get rid of it from the book version? Let's just try to see if they'll take it with this, because he's actually in only 2 Kindle categories. So I'm not going to worry about it. If they want you to, if they have a problem, they'll contact you and say, okay, well, you've got too many. Which one do you want to be taken out of or something? So, all right, so we're going to just get rid of this stuff. See there where it says category pass to be removed if more than 2 already appear. Okay. Okay. And never hurts to say thank you. Okay. And we'll send the message. Okay, so it'll take about 24 hours and he'll get an email about it probably. I mean, I won't get it, so it'll go to him. Let me see if this other thing ever processed. Okay, so now it's the pricing and everything, and I'll just. Okay, so hopefully we'll get him there in some better categories and they'll get this message here, and it could take a little bit for things to get updated. Usually they're faster than 72 hours, I've noticed. Because like I said, I redid all of my, a whole bunch of my novels that were on Kindle, and they had the covers up and the changes done within 24 hours, probably, sometimes less.
Huh, it's amazing
So-
how many you write.
So he made $22,000 on a $4.99 Kindle book.
Dr. Duckett didn't. Where'd you get that? You talking about
It was Mind to Matter that I wrote that.
yeah, the Mind to Matter did. Yeah. I'm just saying that's a competitive book. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
wonder.
but that's Dawson Church. He's got a huge email list in the emotional freedom niche. You pretty much took Gary Craig's original whole following. So there's hundreds of thousands of readers. Yeah.
Well, for somebody who says you can't make money writing books, that would blow that right out of the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some serious money in some of them, some of those categories. All right, any questions about that? You want me to look anything up for y'all?
Well, I decided what my book and my whole niche is actually going to be. My whole direction now is the whole how to reinvent yourself God's way. So, I don't know.
Let's look at reinvent yourself. Let's see.
Yeah, because James Altucher had that title, right? See what he did.
Let's see.
He's definitely not God's way, but he sure is sweet.
Now, if you go to the reinvent yourself, is this the guy you said, James Altucher?
Yeah.
Because that's an average. It's like he made $637 last month off that. It's kind of interesting because you look at things, you're like, oh, I would have thought that person would have made more money or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a, one of the things that I'm noticing is like I've been working on a book that's kind of the stuff that I do in my Trust Your Heart group, Trust Your Heart, Be Yourself, Bless Lives kind of thing. And if I look up trust, if I look, I looked at all these different things and there's nothing. Nobody's searching for this stuff, right? It's just,
right.
Nothing. And then I thought, well, really it's about confidence. And so when I started looking at confidence, okay, now there's a niche for that. There's people that are searching for stuff on confidence. So I think it's not that you can't write your book.
Yeah.
That you want to write, but you need to position it to use the phrases and the words that people are typing in.
Yeah.
So that, you can take advantage of the demand. But they're not thinking probably. Maybe they're just not thinking to reinvent yourself. Maybe they're like, I don't know, create your life or something, or who knows what they're typing in. Even with this tool, you still have to think, okay, what is it people?
I know that's what those things, they just make me.
Yeah, because it'll go through and look at anything that starts with what you put in.
Yeah.
So, but it doesn't go up before it, like if there needs to be something before reinvent or something before create. So let's see. We did reinvent. How about reinvent?
Yeah.
Hot button or hot word in the coaching community.
Yeah.
Overdone, overused. But
I know. Transform. It's about living your legacy, or thinking.
Oh, we could try legacy maybe. Let's see.
Yeah.
I think it's bogged down. This
We're
too many.
making it work. Or it's like stepping into your destiny. That's a kind of the theme.
Let's try legacy.
Knowing your purpose, but this seems like everyone does it.
There's your transform. It's got some searches in it. Transformation. Notice there's no money in it.
That's so funny.
Which I think is funny.
Yeah.
And it averages. So you got to look at that. It may be that. So there are some books that make some money, but the others make so little that it brings the average down. And then sometimes you get a category, you'll think, oh, there's tons of money in this category. And then you look at this and you say, yeah, but It's because this New York Times bestseller guy is selling $1 million worth of money.
Right.
Nobody else is selling anything.
Oh gosh.
So you got to kind of look at this competition to see, okay, is it kind of evenly? Are the competitors across the board making some good money, or is it just one New York Times guy,
Wow.
some movie star who's got a book on this?
Yeah. So if it's about your divine purpose kind of idea, like I don't know if people are searching for.
Well, let me see. We'll see.
Hmm.
Another thing to do would be maybe to come back over here and put in divine purpose.
What I found, Gina, is that I got so stuck on the title that it held me up for so long. And then I really figured out, just write it.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
the title
Yeah.
surfaced.
Yeah, that's a good point. So I was kind of thinking about just making the
Awaken the spirit within.
Then I don't know what people are doing in the Christian space.
Rick Warren one right there.
Oh yeah. So that'll be more spiritual than Christian, probably.
Yeah, you could do it as a Christian. Let's go back to the Rick Warren one. He's probably more your category.
Right. My buddy Rick.
Self-help, Christian living, religion and spirituality.
Of course,
Look, it's 59 pages. Whoa.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Look, print length, 59 pages.
Wow. Maybe it's for a little Bible study.
Okay. Not a lot of people searching for that.
Right.
What if we did Christian self-help?
Yeah.
And the categories themselves and see.
I know one of my guys I like listening to on his podcast, he wrote personal development God's way. And I'm like, oh, that's so similar to what was on my mind.
Okay, so this one is a Christian living. The #1 book sold 90. This is helpful to let you know whether you can get a bestseller. You know, you want to have at least a category.
Oh, yeah.
They're selling 90, they're selling 96 just to be #1 in that. Or this tells you what the #20 spot sold.
Oh.
This is in a day. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you might want to check my category. I mean, it's gone way, way down since being #1, but it sounds like Gina is also Christian, divine purpose. You're talking about confidence, self-esteem, value. So we went through that same thing: Kindle store, Kindle ebooks, religion and spirituality, Christian books and Bibles, and then the categories. I don't know whether you say get smaller or get more specific, or what would you call beyond those first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Yeah, it's more narrowed down. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Christian living. Does that one end with Christian living, that top one?
Yeah, let's take a look. We'll check it out. If I can get it to click. Come on.
Because it seemed like the one that was maybe 8 categories, if you will, down was the key to the
Women's
final
Christian
category.
It looks.
But I don't know. I'm curious to see now how that played out.
It's women's Christian living in this category here. So.
That's interesting.
So I know for this book, It's not number 90 and paid in Kindle store. I know it had to be. It's very popular. This one I had looked at for myself because I was looking at for my Treasure Heart book, believing in yourself. This is Stop Believing the Lies, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And this one's written by somebody famous, so it sold a lot of copies too. It's $2.13 paid in Kindle stores. So there is demand for this stuff. It's not that there's not demand. It's just whether you'd have to find some little obscure category, like let's drill down, like what Judy's saying, and get number one in it, so you can say they're the bestseller. Right. And it doesn't mean people don't want to read the books. It's just how much competition is there for them. So like, you could, like this One Beautiful Dream thing, or Present Over Perfect, Uninvited. What's this one? Discerning the Voice of God. 100 Days to Brave.
Oh, but Annie. How's hers doing?
Okay, so we could actually find out with this tool. See where she is in this.
She's up here in Nashville, little Miss Annie.
You know her personally?
We're just in different circles, but yeah, she wouldn't know me. I think she's like college pastor at one of the big mega churches here at Christ Church.
Oh, okay. So
she has a podcast. Her podcast is called "That Sounds Fun."
Well, Jean, another thing that Marnie picked up on, I think, was the short read, and that I think that helped me with mine.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That I think mine is like maybe, I wanted it to be 80 pages. I think it turned out being 70 some. So there are two different categories of short reads. Yeah. One is 1 to 2 hours. One is less than an hour. Right. So if use your Marnie's turn of drilling down, Marnie, aren't those things important, or are they not?
Yeah. Like this 100 Days to Brave, it's $3,685 a month. But look at that Girls Wash Your Face. It's $109,000.
Oh my word! Wow.
Because she's somebody well-known or something.
What is she?
She's well known according to the thing. It's like the description on it was like she's somebody people know or something. I don't know. What's this one? Everybody Always.
Oh yeah, Nathan wanted to read. My son wanted to read that this summer.
So you made $21,000 in a month.
Yeah, Bob Goff, he's amazing.
I'm curious to know what the questions that keep people awake at night that would want to be reading your book. Like, what are the questions that they would be lying awake wanting answers to?
Yeah,
it's like, what would they be saying to themselves?
Yeah, it's for people who feel like they are in transition. I hate that phrase, but they realize it's a new phase of life, or they're ready for a new phase of life, or new career,
ready for change.
Yeah.
Change might be a message.
The next stage,
what did you say your title was?
How to Reinvent Yourself God's Way. I think.
And their frustration would be what? Pain?
That they've been doing the same thing for so long, but they want to know what God's will is for this next phase of their life. Because they feel like they're ready. There's some change on the horizon. They want to know what it is.
Gina, I don't even think that you need the how-to in front of that. Reinvent yourself God's way.
Oh, yeah. I think you're right.
Oh, let's record that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I wrote that down. 'Cause I was
I-
actually just going to make a Facebook group and do direct outreach to everyone in my community and say, hey, we're doing a new training on this, and just make the course first and then see where the community wants to make it go.
Yeah. Okay. So what I did is I was trying to think of, okay, what we might do is look at what these people are sticking in their descriptions. Okay, so
yeah.
I looked at this gal's, the one, the girl you wash your face, that has the 200,000,
Yeah.
where she had 100,000 sales in a month. So she has self-confidence. She has limiting mindsets. When I put in self-confidence, we've got some here. That's only a 70 right there on the competitive score. There's some decent searches.
Oh, wow.
So this tool, I'm going to export that because I definitely like that category for me. I'm going to go with self-confidence keywords. All right. Another phrase that I copied out of her thing. Let's see. Whoa, didn't copy that. After all, where'd it go? Limiting mindsets, and they've got it hyphenated on mindsets.
Right.
Limiting. I'm going to just put limiting mind and see what that does, because it should show me whatever's after that. I'm hoping that it'll go ahead and.
Not so much.
Oh, well.
Sometimes it just takes a while for it to pull it out because it's working. With being on a Zoom call and all the other tabs she has up, sometimes it takes a while for it to populate.
That's a good point.
It doesn't look like it's running that bar across though, so I'm wondering. Let me try just do limiting mindset
with the dash hyphen.
Yeah. Huh. Might not be the greatest phrase after all. Let's see. Try it without the dash. Okay, so they're not really typing that in. Let's see. Self-confidence, though.
Yeah.
Oh, she married Matt Damon. No wonder she's popular. Okay.
No, she had an obsession with marrying him.
Oh, I thought she married him. Oh, okay.
It's in her book. She tells all her, oh, that's funny. Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Well, is this a fiction book or a true story? Is it a memoir?
Oh, mine, no. It's just
No, hers. Girl, wash your face.
Yeah, I think hers is kind of hers is along the lines of what I'm writing, where I'm kind of using my story, but then I'm putting principles mixed in with it. I think that's kind of what she's got here. She's telling
she needs to know you.
So
she's probably all of 30 years old. No, former foster mothers. She might be 45.
Looks pretty young. I like how they've added this follow on the author. That's nice. I like that. So any of these we could maybe look. What about?
Yeah.
Does yours have anything to do with the brave thing? I don't know. Let that run while we look and see what we've got.
Yeah. And, let's see.
Transition. That's another one of those coaching over.
Yeah, dealing with a difficult transition. That's definitely, because like a lot of my clients lately, they're in this new place from a divorce, or they're new empty nesters, or just, I don't know, new.
There's a book that was in the category that I was looking at, the confidence one. It was just called Enough. I thought that was good because there is like, I get hear that from women all the time. You know, I feel like I'm just not enough or something. So that was a good title. Brave Enough.
Yeah.
That may be the name of a book. Probably Brown or something.
I know, Renee.
Okay, so it was
Same as courage, right? Being brave or having courage.
Mm-hmm. I don't know that that necessarily fits with what Gina's talking about. It just stood out to me in that one lady's.
I know, facing fear.
Oh, it was transitions. That's what we were going to look for.
Oh, yeah. This seems like a word we use that's like.
Well, it's got a lot of searches.
Really?
Transition of the heart. No money, but a lot of searches. Let's see.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny. No money, but.
Let's see what the competition. Before you write them off as no money, kind of look at the competition, because it could be that there is something in here making money.
I think
they're making a few sales. I mean, that's not.
Yeah.
These are monthly sales over here.
I
mean, there's definitely searches for it, and it may be that they just don't like what they're finding.
Did you write a book about living your life purpose?
Yeah, I got You're Here for a Reason, Discover and Live Your Life Purpose.
Oh, yeah, that's really good. Does it get searches and sales?
I've only got that one out as a print book, and I haven't done anything with the Kindle stuff on it because it's kind of a workbook thing, but I could do it. I mean, it's got enough writing in it.
Well,
I was thinking that myself. I need to figure out, but did we just look for purpose?
No.
Purpose-driven life.
That was a Marketing Majesty. I know they're marketers. They went to every single Christian church in the country. And that was magnificent. That's how he sold like 2 million when it launched. Millions. Let's see.
Anyway, you can see even with the tool, it takes some time.
Exactly. I know. That's why I'm like, oh, they always show those tools with the most ideal.
Yeah.
Like, see how easy it was to find this?
Sometimes you get lucky, though. I mean, you're just like, well, here's something here, but it says saturated in the check.
Yeah.
But that's just so.
Yeah.
You could put purpose-driven life, probably. I don't know whether they'd let you do that since it's the name of it. Purpose and passion. Let's see what that is. What about something just like God's will?
Exactly. That's kind of what I'm curious about. Ugh, God's will, John MacArthur.
I bet you under the searches, they rarely put the apostrophe, Marnie. Just give it a shot.
Probably not. Yeah, maybe that's why it's freaking out. Okay, I think it's just loading, though, is one thing. I was trying to close some of my tabs in case that.
I mean, when I went through the course that came with this, I probably spent 3 hours one afternoon And it was so much fun because I was able to focus on what I was looking for and discovering things about what I wanted to do and seeing what was working. And it became it was almost like therapy sessions for me. It was very effective coming up with words.
Okay, there's a God's Will without the apostrophe. Thank you, Donna. So 847 searches.
$37.
You're welcome.
$37. Not a lot of people care about God's Will. Absolutely no.
Well, that's the number competition, 3,171 average monthly earnings. So take the 3171 times 37.
Well, that's the top earners. I don't think it's all the earners, but let's see. So we can see.
Yeah.
They're just maybe not using that keyword. It sure would be nice to know what keyword some of these people are using.
Yeah, what if faith people, do they even look for a book?
Yeah. It's knowing what people type in is kind of still a.
I know.
I mean, what do you feel like when are you depressed? Are you, I mean, we go with like where Carolyn was saying with the problem, what's keeping them up? Are they depressed? Or
they're kind of stuck.
I looked for stuck earlier, just so you know, and it brings up this book.
Yeah.
That's selling out bukus. And so it makes the category keyword look really popular. But then when you look at the competition, it's not as popular as you think because it's just some book called Stuck. It's a romance novel or something about a movie star or something. So Stuck wasn't as good. I tried that for Dr. Duckett. Did we do emotional freedom?
No.
That would fit you. So, what would fit you? Can tell how my brain hops around.
I know, mine too. Then those things make, let me see. I had a
just trying the monkey mind.
No, not that one.
There you go. Life purpose isn't bad.
Wow, what's that?
Competitive score of 80. It has some searches and it has some money in it.
Let me see.
Life purpose books, life purpose.
Oh, yeah.
Purpose coaching. Life purpose journal.
Life purpose coaching. Life.
Okay, but I mean, that's not bad. Let's look at the competition on this one.
Yeah.
Because if everybody's averaging $1,000 a month, well, okay, so here we go. We got Rick Warren's got 4,000 of it. Eckhart Tolle's got 4,000.
And a dog's purpose.
A dog's purpose. Life purpose, 791. The life you were born to live. Dan Millman.
Is that like Joel Osteen?
Dan Millman.
Oh, Dan Millman.
You know who that is?
Okay. Yeah.
The Rhythm of Life, Matthew Kelly has 1,500. Find Your Why, Practical Guide for Discovering Purpose by Simon Sinek.
Simon Sinek. Okay, jeez.
So, but yeah, I mean, there's money in it, at least. I mean, people will buy the books if you get a good one. So,
or that might be attracted to a Facebook group with that title.
Yeah.
No.
Guess it's all Simon
It's all
Sinek.
Simon Sinek. Jeez. Let's see.
Yeah, okay. I just was curious. I love searches on Find Your Purpose, evidently.
There's not.
How to find your purpose? No. Huh. Why am I here?
How to. Why Am I Here by Rick Warren.
Oh
my
Still
God.
nobody's searching for it.
So every personal development book out there, how do people even find them?
I know. I think it's referrals or something. Or
I do too.
yeah. They're evidently not going and searching for them.
Yeah.
They're probably searching more for like a specific, like, let's just do something like that and see what that.
Yeah.
So you think there's no money in that either, but it's just the phrases. They're not, I think what it is have these people used these phrases as the phrases that they put in for keywords on their books, which
Oh man.
that's why there's no money in them.
Oh gosh.
Let's just do that. Now we're talking.
I'll tell you,
32,000.
people are anxious nowadays. People have anxiety, which is fear of the future.
Right.
So if a title can tap into, relieving some anxiety or keywords, I don't know.
Okay, so like depression, there's money in that. There's lots of
That's what I want.
and tons of competition.
Full of depressed people.
I don't know that that's what you're looking for, but
It is
okay.
kind of, that has been, one of my clients just texted me, like, that's kind of mental toughness is my take on it. But this is a different.
Mental toughness. Do we want to?
Yeah. That's more the masculine. That's why so many of my clients are dudes. Anxious for Nothing by Max Lucado. That's a good title.
Try anxiety, Marnie.
Yeah, I specifically put anxious because I wanted to see if it would have a Christian angle of anxious for nothing, if there was anything
Sure.
like that. But yeah, anxiety will have more, I'm sure.
And can you explain the competitive score thing? I'm not sure I understand.
How many other books are in that are using that keyword trying to come up high for it? So it's a scale of 0 to 100. And you want to stay under 80 if you can, because otherwise it's just too many people fighting for that keyword.
What if you want to ride on the coattails of somebody who has a really popular book that doesn't have a lot of searches?
Well, what you could do is you could run Amazon ads and use their name and their book title in the keyword so that you show up every time somebody is looking at their book or searching for their book, you come up.
And it just says sponsored. Your book comes up and it says sponsored? Or
yeah, it's like this. Let me see if I can. There's bound to be ones on. Okay, see all of these right here? Through here? Those are all sponsored.
Yeah.
They're paying to be on it.
Oh yeah, I've clicked those before.
Yeah. Yeah, I click them too.
Oh. Well.
It's just bogging down. I've got
Yeah, that's all right.
to think about. Okay, there's your mental toughness. There's actually almost 1,000 searches for mental toughness. You might want to think about that.
Yeah.
So I mean, as a key word, not necessarily.
Yeah.
The top one, HBR 10 most reads on mental toughness with a bonus interview. 40. That one's making $4,000. Mental toughness, 1,383 in a month. Unbeatable.
Oh, develop an unbeatable mind. I think that's with the Navy SEAL. It's got a big following.
Oh, the art of mental training. 15,000 on that one.
And the art of mental training, they do their Amazon advertising.
They do.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a friend who spends $1,500 to $2,000 a month advertising on Amazon, but then she'll turn around and sell $8,000 to $12,000 a month in books. So, but the trick is you either need to have a book that leads logically into a sales funnel where they're buying other things, or you need a series of books where they, once they buy one, then they want the next one in the series, and the next one in the series, and the next one.
Yeah, definitely.
I think to make that Amazon advertising really work, you need that.
Well, I can see why there's different business models in using Amazon just to drive. But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think as in the funnel. I mean, if they were getting the book, I know some people say make the course first and then the book.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do with my Trust Your Heart thing, because I've got, I've taken a couple groups through the course, and I'm taking that and turning it into a book and just see. I don't know whether I just got to rename it something different, because I mean, it can still have the Trust Your Heart, because I got a lot of books in that series, but then take it and, like create, having incredible self-confidence or something, you know what I mean? Go off the phrase that evidently people want.
Can I piggyback something, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
Last time we were talking about the author page, and I went ahead and linked my website, and I thought that it was only going to pull out new stuff, and it did. Yeah, and I started I clicked through and started listening to one of my podcasts from 4 years ago. That was really good.
I know.
And I also got a video up, but the problem with the video that's up on my webpage, up on Amazon author page, is that it's the audio track has a lot of very odd background noises. Marnie, do you ever have a video that's really good and the words are really good, but the audio isn't working right? Do you have to talk over it or just redo it, or what? Is there? I mean, I don't know. I kept thinking maybe I could put some music in the background that would kind of do a noise canceller. Do you know what I'm talking about?
So it's a video that has noise in the back?
Yeah, it's on my author page.
Well, if you're really good, you could strip the audio.
Okay.
Save the audio as a file. I believe Camtasia will do something like that. There may be other software that will separate the audio from the video.
Okay.
Then bring the audio into Audacity and run a noise cancellation. Get a snippet of that noise all by itself. And then you use it as, do you know how to do this?
No, I do not.
Okay, let me show you, because it's not that hard.
I like that.
Okay, so I'll open Audacity. I don't know if I've got a document that's got any background noise, but I'll just show it to you even. Come on, baby.
You know, and I don't remember it being that noisy when it was I spoke at was supposed to speak at a library, and that was one of the day when it ended up being a holiday, and it was so that nobody showed up, which was great. And I said, okay, fine, then I'll just use this time. We got the video set up, so why don't I do a reading? So I did a short reading, and I wasn't mic'd, and but I wasn't that far from the video camera either. But when Greg gave me the video, it had all this really weird noise in the background. I don't know if he saved it incorrectly.
Okay, so what you
Okay.
would do is,
Yes.
this doesn't have any background noise because I pipe it straight from the piano into the, but let's just say this was the background noise that you were trying to take out, okay? You would highlight a segment that just has the noise, not you talking, not anything else, but just like the hum. If you could isolate even a little tiny little section of it, okay?
Okay.
And then you go to, let me see, effect and noise reduction.
Okay.
And you tell it to get a noise profile out of that snippet. Okay, so that's kind of analyzed it. Oh, this is too short. Okay, all right. Never had to do that. I must be really zoomed in. Okay, so let me try that again. Effect, noise reduction, get a noise profile.
Okay.
Okay, then you could go edit and select all. And then you tell it effect, noise reduction, and okay. And it will go through the whole document and strip that sound out.
Really?
And then save that as an MP3, export this thing as an MP3 after you've done it, and then go back into a video program and mute out the track and put this track in. And as long as you don't snip anything off the ends or anything here, you got to have it exactly the same length so your mouth will line up and everything, So you would bring that audio track in on the video